Did you know the Phoenix Suns were just 2 wins away from lifting their first ever NBA championship? And just 4 years later, they might be the biggest mess in the entire league. It's a story about how you can have all the money in the world, all the talent on the court, all the fans behind you, and still blow it up in record time. And it all comes down to one man, Matt Ishbia. So today, we're diving deep into how a self-proclaimed basketball lover, a billionaire who promised to save the Suns, turned a finals team into a cautionary tale for every NBA owner. Stick around, because by the end, you'll see there's more than one way to destroy a franchise, and this one's spectacular. Chapter 1. The Promise. July 8th, 2021. Suns fans were dreaming big. Phoenix went up 2-0 in the NBA Finals against the Milwaukee Bucks. Devin Booker was scorching hot. Chris Paul was the ultimate floor general. The Valley was buzzing like never before. Then, it all crashed. Giannis Antetokounmpo went into unstoppable mode. The Bucks won 4 straight. The Suns never sniffed another win. Phoenix's championship parade evaporated overnight. Painful? Sure. But the future still looked bright. They had Devin Booker under contract, a superstar just entering his prime. They had solid role players. Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, DeAndre Ayton, all young, all improving, all on manageable deals. Plus, they had all their first-round picks lined up for years to come. Flexibility, hope, potential. Fast forward 4 years, and they might have the worst situation in the entire NBA. Chapter 2. From Sarver to Ishbia. To understand how we got here, you need to know where they came from. Suns fans spent nearly 2 decades suffering under Robert Sarver, an owner so cheap he made Scrooge McDuck look generous. During the mid-2000s, Steve Nash and the Suns were one of the NBA's best shows. 7 seconds or less was ahead of its time. But every time they got close to real title contention, Sarver pulled the plug to save a few bucks. Between 2004 and 2010, Phoenix sold off 7 first-round picks, not traded, sold. First-round talent shipped out for cash. He wouldn't pay Joe Johnson, who left at 23 and became an 8-time All-Star. Amari Stoudemire walked too. And just like that, the Nash era ended without a ring, not because the talent fell short, but because ownership did. So when Sarver finally left after his scandal-filled exit, fans were over the moon. Enter Matt Ishbia, the new billionaire savior, young, energetic, basketball-obsessed. He even played college ball at Michigan State. And the dude is loaded. He came in as one of the richest owners in the league. Suns fans thought, finally a guy who'll spend. Careful what you wish for. Chapter 3. The Big Splash. Matt Ishbia wasted no time making headlines. The first blockbuster, trading for Kevin Durant. On paper, a dream. Who doesn't want KD, one of the greatest scorers ever? But here's what it cost. Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, and control of 5 first-round picks. They also got TJ Warren as a throw-in. But let's be real, the cost was massive. And while Durant is still an elite scorer, he's also older, injury-prone, and not exactly the leader he once was. Still, Suns fans were buzzing. KD, Booker, CP3. Title dreams were back. But they didn't make it past the second round. Chapter 4. Doubling down on chaos. So, what does Matt Ishbia do when one blockbuster falls short? He pulls another one, even riskier. Out went Chris Paul, Landry Shamet, and control of more picks in seconds. In came Bradley Beal, along with his infamous no-trade clause. Now, Bradley Beal used to be an elite scorer in Washington, but let's be honest, paying him over $50 million a year in this new salary cap era? Yikes. And they didn't stop there. They also traded DeAndre Ayton and rookie Toumani Camara for Yusuf Nurkic, Grayson Allen, and salary filler. Allen turned out okay, he can shoot, but Nurkic, one of the worst starting centers in the league. Meanwhile, Camara, the throw-in rookie, made second-team all-defense as a rookie for Portland. Talk about salt in the wound. Chapter 5. Spinning out of control. So where did all this wheeling and dealing leave the Suns? More top-heavy than ever, but without the talent to back it up. After KD, lost in the second round. After Beal, didn't even make the playoffs, despite having the most expensive roster in NBA history. How bad is it? Next year, they'll pay Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and newly added Jalen Green $140 million, nearly 90% of the entire salary cap. That means they basically have to fill the rest of the roster with minimum contracts and pray for health. Depth? Gone. Flexibility? Gone. Draft picks? They don't control their own outright first-rounder until 2032. That's not a typo. 2032. Chapter 6. The Michigan State Pipeline. If you think the bad trades were the worst part, think again. One of Ishbia's biggest flaws is believing his basketball background makes him smarter than everyone else in the room. Yes, he was a walk-on at Michigan State. Yes, he won a national championship from the bench. But the NBA is a whole different beast. Since buying the team, he's hired and fired 4 different head coaches in just 2 years. 4. And the people he does hire, it's like a Michigan State reunion tour. New GM Brian Gregory, a former MSU assistant, 0 NBA front office experience. New head coach, also has MSU ties. Assistant coach, you guessed it, Michigan State. It's almost like the only job requirement to work for the Suns is knows Tom Izzo. You know what they don't have? NBA connections, proven experience, or the vision to navigate this mess. Chapter 7. The new CBA trap. To be fair, not every mistake is 100% Ishbia's fault. When he bought the Suns, the old NBA rules made it possible to buy your way into super team status. But the league's new CBA, especially the second apron, punishes teams that spend recklessly. Bradley Beal's deal turned into a millstone. They can't easily trade him because of that no-trade clause. So now, they're stuck paying 3 guys superstar money with no money left for the rest of the roster. It's the worst of both worlds. Not cheap enough to rebuild, not good enough to contend. Chapter 8. The owner effect. So why does Ishbia keep doing this? Simple. He wants to win now. He hates the idea of rebuilding. He even said once, "You think I'm going to wait 7 years to get back to the playoffs? I want to win today." But the NBA isn't a get-rich-quick league. It rewards patience. Just look at the Nuggets. They built carefully around Jokic for years. Or the Thunder, hoarding picks, developing talent, playing the long game. Ishbia can't stand waiting, so he throws money at the problem and hopes for instant results. Chapter 9. Ego versus reality. Here's the problem. Matt Ishbia thinks he's smarter than he is. This is a guy who literally refused to give the ball back to Nikola Jokic during a playoff game, then flopped when Jokic touched him. And after getting swept, he told reporters, "Ask the other 29 GMs. 26 would trade their whole team for ours." No, Matt, they wouldn't. He's the classic rich guy who believes his success in business makes him an expert at basketball. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. Chapter 10. Where do the Suns go now? So, what's next for the Phoenix Suns? They're stuck paying a fortune to a top-heavy trio with almost no picks to restock the cupboard. They're hiring buddies from Michigan State instead of proven winners. And worst of all, Ishbia says he wants to be more involved, not less. The only hope? Somehow flipping Beal's contract, maybe striking gold in the second round, maybe Booker playing like an MVP every night. But with the current leadership, it feels more likely they'll waste his prime than maximize it. Big takeaway. So, what can we learn from the rise and rapid fall of the Phoenix Suns? You can have all the money, the stars, the fans, but if your owner can't get out of his own way, none of it matters. For Suns fans, the heartbreak is watching the same story play out twice. Once from an owner too cheap to spend, now from one who spends blindly. Here's hoping they get it right eventually, because if not, Phoenix might be stuck in the desert for a long time. If you found this breakdown eye-opening, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives like this, and tell me in the comments, what would you do if you were the Suns GM right now? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.